385.
Len Hutton and Dennis Compton were strongly contrasting players and characters. Hutton, the apparently fragile, quiet, pale Yorkshireman, went in at number 1, and he withstood the shock and fire of Australia's new ball attack.
Len Hutton's mentor in the 1930s was that coolest of opening batsmen, Herbert Sutcliffe. The young Hutton's apprenticeship was thorough and at times savage. Here, early in his career and at the start of an innings, Lar would break through him with a quick one. And all his career, Len planned and strove to avoid that early dismissal, and it didn't happen very often. Nevertheless, in his first Test match, the New Zealander Jack Cowie bowled him out for naught. Still, the next season, 1938 at Trent Bridge, he scored a century in his first appearance against Australia. And in the 5th Test of that same 1938 series, he staggered the cricket world and indeed his own constitution by batting for 13 hours for a new Ashes record score of 364. And Don Bradman, whose 334 now became second best, was the first man to congratulate him.
Those minutes before Hutton smashed the record were charged with drama, but the crowd had come prepared for a long stay. Then he broke the record.
Today, I think, has been one of the happiest days of my cricketing career. I managed to beat Don's great record, and I must say I felt very pleased when I achieved it.
10 years later, his left arm an inch shorter after a wartime accident, Hutton witnessed the other extreme as England were bowled out for 52 at the Oval. He was first in and last out and top scorer with 30. Hutton was dropped only once in his Test career, when in 1948 it was thought that a rest from the Australian bumper barrows might be beneficial. Otherwise he was a fixture, and a revered fixture at that. He was recognised as the supreme technician, an artist whose work pleased even those who usually concern themselves about scoring rates. His deep sense of responsibility, especially when he became the first English professional Test captain of modern times, weighed heavily on his spare shoulders. With the captaincy came the fulfilment of his dream, that England might reassert herself against the all-conquering Australians. He not only led England to a joyous, long-awaited victory in the Ashes decider at the Oval in 1953, but he commanded the campaign that retained the Ashes in Australia in 1954-55. Soon afterwards, Len Hutton retired. He was battered, weary, and worn. His monarch bestowed a knighthood upon him. There had long been a king himself in the hearts of his loyal legions.